once upon a Saturday night dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious haywire of experiences galore, I sat nearly sulking. Suddenly there came a bulking, as of something roughly joking, hulking out my room door. Just a roommate, I thought, probably dropping at my house floor. Drunken tears, nothing more. Whatever that means. Distinctly I was right. It was the time of Doctor Who night. Eagerly I shivered in the cold, vainly prayed and hold for my magazines to seeds of gold. Gold from the new Doctor. The screeching scratch of a high-pitched noise thrilled me with fantastic concerns never felt before. 'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, this it is and nothing more. Presently my feet grew stronger, waiting then no longer. Sir, said I, truly, your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was seated, and so gently you came beating, and so faint you came retreating at my door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. There I opened wide the door.
Margarita special, that would be £12.24.
Now I'm relaxed then. Damn lights, hang on a sec. That's better. Now I'm relaxed, my food is in store. Let's begin with episode 4.
Hi guys, Matt the Redder here, and as you can see, once again, this is an audio review. Well, shall we say my quick reactions video. And the reason is obviously I've been very busy this last week, well, a couple of weeks. Last week I was involved in a stage production, so I didn't have time to catch up with Doctor Who. Heck, come to think of it, I was involved in a stage production. I had to miss out on the live episode of Doctor Who, so I had to watch it recorded late after midnight on the same day, but way after midnight. And at the time, I was really tired to concentrate on what was going on, so yeah. Also, another reason is that I've been very busy with so many work experience and a lot of university work, which I do apologize that this is an audio video rather than a proper review video, which it could have been. But then again, it's probably better just to do an audio review rather than just see your own face on the screen. So yeah, it's probably best to do an audio review. But if not, I promise that once the deadline's for, because this week is actually my last week of my second year at university, and I promise by next week everything will be back to normal. I would be well awake. I won't have a lot of experience or projects to get on, and now I'll finally get back to work. Now finally get back to working on this channel. So yeah. Once the deadlines are out of the way, I'll be back to normal. Now, obviously, how can I start this off? Well, first off, let's talk about how Doctor Who seems to have a habit of trying to be scary. Well, in my opinion, the last couple of episodes we've had when they try and do a scary episode, they haven't actually done pretty well. I mean, in my opinion, we haven't got a very good scary Doctor Who horror-like episode since what's a good example? Under the Lake and Before the Flood. That was a really good creepy episode, and for an Under Siege ghost story, it was pretty good. We've got Night Terrors, Creepy Dolls. That was pretty good, but obviously the twist did have some flaws. But I think, in my opinion, I haven't seen a scary, straight up scared me crap that since time of Angels, and that was when Doctor Who used to be really at the top of this game, and so as you can tell, I pretty much had low expectations for a horror episode. However, this episode, Knock Knock, I don't know why they call it Knock Knock, I don't know, but this episode had some potential, and from the look of the trailers, it looked like a proper horror / paranormal activity film. I'll be expecting some What If Doctor Who Knock Knock was a horror film videos. So with that being said, let's kick off this review. So, as always, I'm going to give you the good, I'm going to give you the bad, and I'm going to give you the wibbly wobbly timey-wimey. So first off, the good. Capaldi, good as usual, used especially in his comedic moments. I do like his moments when he's with the kids, like he plays music on Bill's phone, and one of the girls is dancing along and says, "Do you know what that is?" He's like, "Do I know what that is?" He has really great moments, especially with the rest of the cast, and it's funny moments like his expressions when he's crunching on the cracker, and I did like the bit where how he says, "You smell that? It's a Chinese food. I like Chinese food," and I don't know, I just smiled. Before I can continue, I just want to say, with Eccleston, I would want to follow him. With Tennant, I would want to go on holiday with him. With Smith, I would want to play games with him. But with Capaldi, I know I actually met him at the filming location in Cardiff University, but with Capaldi, I would definitely want to hang out with him. I mean, I could just go to a bar or a cafe or probably have a good time with either the Doctor or Capaldi in general, and I would probably have a really good time, because it's pretty obvious that this series, Capaldi is having the time of his life in whatever scenario, whatever story, and with whatever supporting cast he has. And as usual, he's good in the more emotional moments, especially when he's trying to work out Eliza's conditions by coming up with all the theories and asking all the questions. It was kind of like watching an episode of Poirot or Death in Paradise, but even though it's not. Oh, I also like the moment where the Doctor licks his finger and he's feeling the air outside the garden. That's a nice stuff. Bill, she's housekeeping a group of kids, and obviously they're searching for a place to hang out. I'm guessing because there's a freshers fair going on, so I'm guessing that's what it was. Until they come across Poirot, the landlord. So they arrive at the haunted version of Bannerman Road. What I like about Bill in this episode, I know this is bad, but this is just a little nitpick. Bill has pretty much nothing to do in this episode. I mean, yeah, she does have the moment where she's pulling up the book, she's trying to find the secret exit, the Indiana Jones style filming now. But other than that, Bill's just there. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Pearl Mackie. And she did a good job in the episode, but she's good. I'm sorry, but she had nothing to do in this episode. I know this is a good section, but I'm just being nitpicky here, and I'm really not concentrated, and this is just a bunch of notes. But obviously with the good section, she does have a good moments. I especially like the bit when she's doing the 3, 2, 1, calculating the Doctor's arrival. That was a nice touch. I actually like that, Bill's got the Doctor bringing her luggage when, we get to see all those boxes and crates inside the TARDIS, and I do like the conversation when she's discussing Time Lords and discussing the Time Lords' robes and clothing. I just thought, okay, that's nice. Saying Time Lords, they sound posh. Like, yes, my lord, big hats. And he says, no, big collars. Yeah, but I think, if you were to ask me what was my favourite Bill moment in this episode, it's the moment where she's in a room and she takes out a photograph of her mother and she shows it around like a video camera, as if she was talking to her on Skype. That nice place, proud. Hope I'm gonna make you proud. That nothing much I can say about it, but in my opinion, that was a very nice moment, and I don't know why. That's all I'm gonna say. It was a really nice touch. I can understand why Bill is trying to get rid of the Doctor because, well, he's being suspicious and she wants to have a good life, but if the Doctor is dead, then you should basically just let him be there. Just say he's the he's a guardian, or he's just someone to look out. Just don't push him away. I mean, I can understand you want to have a good time, but don't push him away. And speaking of the kids, okay, this episode has got really great supporting characters. I think my favorite supporting character is Harry, who was meant to be the grandson of Harry Sullivan, who's a classic companion, but there's no mention of him. There's no mention of it, and thank God there isn't, because if there was, then, well, we would have to have like a subplot, and yeah, that wouldn't go so well with this scenario. So I don't know whether it was a fan theory, or whether the writer wanted him to be a fan, or maybe it was just something the actor came up with. I don't know. But there's no mention or any connection of how he could be the grandson. I mean, he can just be a regular kid, just some regular guy who happens to be called Harry. But that's just a little nitpick. Oh God, this good section is turning into mixed. I don't know. but other than that, Harry's my favorite character. He's probably the best child character in this episode. I really enjoy watching the scenes with him and Capaldi. Because in my opinion, he's probably the most believable guy in the episode, even though he's got his eyes all wide open all the time, but even that, I just believed he was a real kid, a real person, and the relationship with him and Capaldi is really, really great. I literally liked the bit when they were investigating all the other contracts, and when they find another one, he immediately goes to check the dates. He knows exactly what to do. He checks the dates. They look at the photos, and to be honest, I literally feared for his life in this episode. I mean, it's pretty obvious that the coming soon trailer pretty much gave it away, because, well, we see him get eaten by bugs, but even though I knew it was going to happen throughout the episode, I've been saying to myself, don't go there, don't go there, no, don't go there, don't go there, and then obviously he gets stuck on the floor, and then he is literally eaten by the bugs, and I literally said at that moment, that's not fair, that is not fair. But then again, that's what Doctor Who does, because it proves that even in some scenarios, no one gets out alive, and even the ones you care about, they may not be lucky. David Stewart as the landlord. He is the star of this episode. So I know he's trying to be all frightening. He's being all creepy. Yeah, he is kind of creepy. But there's some moments where he does that creepy smile, or he's feeling the walls, or he's playing with that little iron piece, and just to attract high pitched noise. And I don't know why, but even though he's being creepy and sinister, I cannot but just smile at some of his creepy moments. I mean, I know he's meant to be the bad guy, but I cannot but just smile at this guy. And he does have some funny moments, like no cats, no pets, and when we find out exactly why he's doing it, you then realize, oh, he's just trying to do what is right. And we've also got Eliza, who is obviously the landlord's daughter. I mean, the moment he mentions the daughter, I immediately said, oh yeah, that's the wooden lady. And the twist, I did not see coming. I mean, yeah, I knew the wooden lady, Eliza, was his daughter, but when we actually find out exactly the truth, the twisted truth, I'm not going to say, spoil it, I did not see it coming, but I would say it was kind of rushed. Is there something wrong with this episode? Well, story-wise, production-wise, character-wise, twist-wise, no. But I think the execution is a little off. Now for the bad. Okay, cockroaches. Worst villain of the series. I mean, I know they're bugs and, they have their soft powers, and I know they're meant to be aliens who are apparently living on Earth, but come on, guys. You can do better than that. Where did they come from? What are they called? What are they doing there? Why do they give off this power? Just explain more, please. Okay, basically these cockroaches crawl out of the wall after being attracted by high-pitched sounds. That was the iron piece of metal, the music, which I have to admit that is a nice touch. But where did they come from? That's pretty much the only thing I keep asking myself every time. Where did they come from? Okay, we get the idea. The landlord likes playing with the bugs, but where did he find them? I mean, I know, yes, in a garden, yes, but seriously, where did they come from? Good lighting. I like the use of the blue lighting. And there's this one shot where it's a painting of Eliza in her human form, and this bug is walking over her face. I kind of knew it was meant to symbolize something, but even though it's not really explained well, I have to say that it was a nice piece of cinematography, even though I had no idea what sense it made. But maybe it's just me, I don't know. Obviously, it's trying to be a dark horror thriller jump scare story, but for me, with the more recent episodes, nothing really shocked me or scared me that much. I mean, I know the show hasn't got a bigger budget like it used to, but what they've done with it is, I think, average or above average. I don't know. I think maybe if the episode was a bit longer, or maybe it needs another rewrite, I think it might be better. I know it sounds like I'm tearing it down, but the thing is, I wanted to be scared. I wanted to like this episode, but there's really nothing much that made me scared, or scared crap my pants like, which I know the BBC can't do anymore because, well, times are changing, I think. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just growing up and accepting the fact that maybe the Doctor Who I loved watching as a child is fading away, and this is for a new generation, and I'm accepting that. And now for the wibbly wobbly timey wimey. We've got Shireen, who is the main supporting girl actress, and honestly, I don't know what to think of that character. I mean, I get it. She's like the eldest. She's trying to be the leader. She's obviously got some scared issues and all that, but to the actress's credit, she was actually pretty good. I did, however, have one little nitpick. We find out she's got a crush on Paul, and that was pretty much it. We don't see any. We don't even hear that getting mentioned. So yeah, that's pretty much the problem. It was just one little bit, and then all of a sudden they just moved on, and then. By the time we got to, we watch it again, you completely forgotten that was mentioned. So, in my opinion, she was probably the weakest character. I'm not saying the guy, what's his name, Pavel, who's obviously a red shirt, getting pulled into the wall, which I have to admit, that was a real creepy image just to see his face on the wall. You could say he was the weakest character, but no. But actually, the more I think about it, Shireen is the weakest because, well, she's not really that more developed. That would probably have to go with Paul, who's the other male supporting character. So yeah, his story is pretty obvious. He has a crush on Bill, and obviously we go for the bit where which is all like the scenes where he's trying to ask Paul, Bill out, and some of the dialogues I thought that's a bit weird. He talks like he kind of talks like like a little touch of the record scratch. Just go over there. Go to the freshest rate. We should go. Oomph. And obviously Bill says, "I'm sorry, I'm into girls, you're not really my type," and he's like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." Which, yeah, even though it was small, quick, I was okay with it because, well, like I said earlier, I don't think we need all these subplots in a way. We only need one plot. And I'm just glad they managed to get that out of the way. But I did find, hearing him screaming behind the door, that was kind of creepy. Okay, what's her name? Florence. Okay, she's obviously, I'm guessing she's the youngest of the group. She's okay. She's okay. That's what I'm saying. She's obviously the most, the chicken of the group. But I do like the bit where she's dancing onto the music for some reason. I don't know whether it was part of the script or whether it's just improv or just lazy wooden acting. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know what to talk about that character. But she was okay. The story is basic, cliche, and predictable. The twist I did not see coming, but I think it was done too quickly. I did feel like however, I did feel like tearing up a little bit. But because the twist was done too quickly, it was a little too rushed. It didn't give me a full impact, that sort of thing. The direction by Bill Anderson, it's decent. Standard, average, special effects, done decently. Inventive with the woodlice, the floorboards, etc. The scare factor's average. Nothing in this episode made me scared, but more creeped out, which, if that was the episode's purpose, just to creep the audience out, then, well, I did like the idea of them not using a lot of music in this episode, since this is meant to be a scary film, but now and then we get the sort of twinkling beat music, that eerie suspenseful music, and which comes in and out some of the time, and I like that they've done that. Obviously, we've got our cliche moments like night falling, thunder, floorboards creak, all that type of scary movie stuff. The low angles for the exterior shots, the high angles for the corridors were nicely shot. That's just another nitpick, that's alright. Okay, here we go. The ending. Obviously, just like last week's episode, we've got ourselves another scene with Matt Lucas, who is still irrelevant in this episode. Oh, come on, Doctor, come on, Series 10. Anyway, the Doctor comes back with some food for himself. He gives Norton the night off so that he can look after whoever's in the vault. What we soon realise is that inside the vault is a piano starts playing, and to be honest, that's even more a bit spookier than the actual episode itself. Got a story for you, haunted house, woodlice, silence, and then lots of people getting eaten. Music plays, saw it coming, and then he steps in the vault. So I don't think it might be the Master now. I mean, it could be Missy. I mean, if it is Missy, then that is pretty a lame twist. Still, it might be something else. I mean, I'd like it to be something different, but also something to make me excited and shocked, ready for what's to come. And it is told it's going to be revealed in Extremis, which does involve Missy and those strange monks with a book, which was shown in the magazine. But overall, I'm still looking forward to what's being revealed in the vote. And now for the conclusion. Actually, before I say my conclusion, I've managed to watch the enhanced version whilst I was in bed. Lights out, it was late once again, and all I kept hearing was creaking sounds, nothing much. I mean, however, there were some moments in which I actually thought the banging noises or the talking were actually in the room I was watching it in. But other than that, nothing much. So overall, all it did was just improve my hearing. In conclusion, Knock Knock is a cliche, average horror story mixed with nice characters despite some wooden acting, some creepy moments, and a heartbreaking twist. It's not what I call the best horror episode, but I'd say it's average, or maybe above average, but mostly average. Enough to get a passable rating, so therefore, I'm gonna give this episode 6 out of 10. So yeah, this was an average episode, but hopefully we've got our next episode, and from the looks of the articles, the promo pictures, the trailers, and of course those posters, it looks really, 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 really awesome. It looks really good, and I'm really excited for it. So, whilst I think Knock Knock is a creepy one, I think Oxygen is going to be a proper scare factor. I can't wait to see how they do it. Be sure to leave a comment, like, and share this video, and if you have seen the episode, what did you think about it? If you'd like to see more of my videos, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Let's rock.